What's up, everybody? It's your boy Whiskeymo. Uh, Welcome to the channel. This is the first video that I'm going to drop there that is actually not just something placed there for others, but welcome. I had these grandiose plans of some like big experiment for what I was going to do with this channel. I don't know what it's going to be. There's a lot of options, but I feel that maybe the first time that we talk is going to be something about a reaction of the news of the week. So today is October 26th, and this week we had a video drop on Twitter from the former adult star Mia Khalifa. Now, I'm not shaming anyone for being in the adult industry. That is a very valid form of work. In fact, it's one of the most popular things on the internet. But I think what is really problematic is what she had to say. And I think this really does is this shows a problem with the online left. And we're going to talk about this. And this is really what it's going to be is what is the problem with the uber online left or the celebrity left or those who think that they have some issues that they need to address. So what does this look like? Mia Khalifa said that she hopes that all U.S. soldiers, especially those who have recently been deployed to Israel to support the THAAD, which is, I don't know the acronym, but it's a high altitude anti-air missile system. And she hopes that everyone gets PTSD, especially those who are in a country that's not their own, because you're working for a government that doesn't trust you, that doesn't love you, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And it was pretty brutal, and it was not very fun to listen to, especially from someone who is a former serviceman themselves, who has been in combat multiple times, who has PTSD. Like, I wouldn't wish that upon her. And it is especially upsetting coming from someone who's talked about some of her trauma and some of her struggles coming from the industry that she was. You know, it's one of those where it's like, what's good for me, but not for thee. And I think that's problematic. And I think really what this boils down to is the fact that she's targeting the wrong people, right? Many of the people who wear the uniform of the U.S., they join the service mostly because they don't have the ability to do anything else, right? This is a way for them to escape a troubled-filled life, something that is problematic. There's all kinds of reasons. Some of them truly believe that this is the best way that they can make an impact on the world, on their country, and on their community. Some actually do have maybe some malicious intent. Maybe they just want to go kill brown people. You know, I don't know. I can't get into the heart of everyone, but I know that the majority of the people that I served with did it for good intentions and with good reason. And why are you worrying about the people, not the people who give the orders? And this is where I think the problem with the online left and the celebrity left comes in. You see a lot of this with people like Hassan Piker, people who are on TikTok on the left. And what it is they don't seem to understand who they should be mad at. Right. So they pick the easiest target. In a lot of cases, that ends up being the U.S. military. And do not get me wrong. I think the U.S. military is problematic in certain ways. I think there are times that we could be doing better as the military, as veterans, in the way to communicate and the way that we take care of each other. But that's just one aspect of it. You know who you should be mad at? The U.S. government. Like, if you are mad at somebody, you should be mad at the U.S. government. It's not like these soldiers, sailors, airmen, marines, and guardians have a choice of where they go. Yeah, they may have a choice of to join the military, but sometimes that's not a real choice. It's a Pyrrhic choice, right? Your choice is to stay at home in a financially and economically depressed space, or maybe you're the victim of abuse. Maybe you're the victim of all kinds of things. And the only way that you feel that you can get out of that situation is to join the military, which is great because you're most likely going to leave your small town. They're going to ship you to somewhere to go to basic training. Then they're going to send you someplace else. And that's an opportunity to learn a new skill, to grow, to get financially stable, and to be able to get away from that harmful thing. And it goes to this whole thing of that is problematic with the online left as well, is that this idea of ideological purity, that like everyone has to be working in this space where we can only be this one thing. If you do not agree with me 100% in all of my ideological stances, then you are not worthy of or you're not really a leftist, or you're this, or you're that. And sometimes I feel like the people who read these online or these leftist documents and have this leftist theory, just the very touch of it, they don't actually understand it. right? The idea is to uplift the people. The idea is to create a society where we are all equals. But that's no longer equal if you say you must be like me. It doesn't allow for space. It doesn't allow for growth. It doesn't allow for change. It doesn't allow for dialogue. What it allows for is an idea that there's only one mindset, and that's not truly human, right? So I find this really, really problematic. And I don't know if there's an answer to this, but I think one, it's gross to wish PTSD on somebody because the long lasting ramifications of trauma is not something really, really cool, especially when you as a human have talked about it before about the trauma that you've had to experience and then to wish that upon someone else. So sometimes it makes me question if you've actually had trauma and you've had to deal with it. Two, I think really what we need to do is to open up some conversations about what politics should look like or who we need to discuss. Like, do we really need to have this purity idea of on the online left? Like, where's the pragmatism? Where's the incremental steps? You know, you read Marx in the Communist Manifesto and he talks about incremental steps. It's not like a straight up all the way boom and we're there. Like, where's your true praxis? Like, people talk about praxis, this is praxis, that is praxis. Praxis is incremental steps. It's going out in the street and handing out food to the homeless. It's going out there and registering people to vote. It's talking to people. It's engaging in the community. And thirdly, I think the biggest thing here is that educate yourself on who to be mad at, right? It's not about being mad at the guys at the pointy end of the spear or at the pointy end of policy. And that doesn't just have to be the military. It could be anyone who is at so far down the decision making tree that they don't understand who or where this originally came from. You need to be mad at the current administration. You need to be mad at the State Department, at the Department of Defense. Those are the things that you can be mad at. Wishing harm and suffering on a person is not the answer. It's not. And I hope that maybe we can begin eventually to get to this point where we can have a conversation. It's really difficult right now because we are in a space that feels more divided. And I'm not going to say we've had a civil war, we've all done these things, but this is where we are at. And I hope that we can get to the point where we can actually have coherent and great conversations that lead to actual positive change. This is going to be something that I'm hoping to do here in the future, shorter videos, kind of like reactions to some of the points. This has just been sitting on my heart the last week or so, and it's really bothered me, and I feel like I needed to say something. So welcome to the channel. Click all the buttons, like, subscribe, all those things, hit the notification bell. I don't know what this is going to look like, but this is the very first one. So thank you so much for listening to my rant. If you have something to say, please get in the comments. I appreciate all of you, and I hope that you all have a wonderful week.